you have to go in the ring with your old self and tell your old self, bitch, you ain't shit. Like, I watch videos and people be like, oh, I moved to such and such for no money, no job. Nah, I'm not doing that. What's the problem?
Smile, you on candy
What was
camera?
like, oh no, that Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ja here, and today I kind of wanted to get like a sneak peek of my week. It's typically just filled with work and school, and now it's also including the gym. If you've seen my previous vlog, then you've seen that I went to Houston and I went apartment hunting. But before I could even go apartment hunting, I honestly need to find a job. And so that's what this vlog is basically about. My efforts in looking for a job in Houston and also becoming a better version of myself. All right, y'all. It is now, well, it's after I'm back home from the gym. I took a shower, got myself together, and now I'm gonna head to Starbucks to just kind of sit down and get some work done. I like working in Starbucks just because it's like more of a collective space where everyone else is working, and it helps me and encourages me to work. This morning, waking up at 5 a.m. was so hard. Like, you literally are negotiating with yourself in the morning. People make it seem like it's an easy thing, but unless you're used to it, you really have to program your mind to listen to you. And like, because it will not. Like, I woke up at 5. Honestly, I didn't get out of my bed until 5:30, and I was up, but it was just me talking to myself, telling myself, oh, well, you could just do it tonight, or you could finish that workout tonight. You could just chill, lay down, get you some sleep. You don't even have 8 hours of sleep. And then I had to realize, when I heard that voice, I had to realize that it wasn't me, and that it wasn't the real me, and it wasn't the me with the intentions that I've had to make myself a better woman. It was the afraid me. It was the little girl me. And after I got up, once I just stood up, it was all gone. Like, the voices, everything was all gone. After the gym, when I got home, I was so happy. Like, in order to be the person you want to be, you literally have to fight with your old self. Like, you have to go in the ring with your old self and tell your old self, bitch, you ain't shit. Like, literally, like, you do not own me. You cannot control me no more. I did it your way for how many other years? I did it your way for 10 years. Now it's time to do it my way. My way is going to work, and my way is going to make me happy. So I just want to leave that with you. For anyone who's struggling to literally wake up early and get things done, the benefits of doing so is enormous. However, trying and attempting to get yourself to that point is not easy. Let's just be real. It's not easy. It's not, let me make a matcha. It don't give that vibes. It gives, what? I'm up. Like, that's the vibes it gives. Got my drink. Ice brown. Got some oatmeal. Fun fact, Starbucks does not sell bananas no more, so I brought my own banana here. So yeah. I am currently at work. I did not go to the gym this morning because I had to be up and I have to drive an hour to work, which is why in my head I really don't care about the commute and what the commute is gonna look like in Houston, because if I drive an hour and I live in the city, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that's a blessing. I would love to drive 30-40 minutes to work. I would love that. But today I didn't really put much effort into my fit. I'm just wearing a sissy sweater, some black denim jeans, and basics. I guess that gym is really looking out for me because what? I'm slimming up. I didn't check my weight yet, but yeah. And you know, every morning I have to get a coffee. I've been on my grind, like literally on a grind, like every day since like coming from the Houston trip and after looking at apartments, I've been looking for jobs. Like, I watch videos and people be like, oh, I moved to such and such for no money, no job. No, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't advise that for anyone. Like, I haven't even moved yet and I know that's just not an ideal situation to be in. Like, why leave if you're leaving a stressful situation? You might be leaving a peaceful situation, but if you're leaving a stressful, chaotic situation, why move into something where you're going to be stressed out by yourself? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I've been applying to jobs and I'm not playing with nobody. I am not accepting nothing under 75K. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm already in the 70s for my current job in New York, and I know that Texas don't take out, I believe, state tax, so that's going to be marvelous because in New York, they literally take out $700 from my check bi-weekly. But I feel like in Houston, it is more for your money, so I wouldn't be mad being in the 70s because I'll be seeing a lot of that money. My friend, he also told me that in his job, and he works at the University of Houston, he gets his money up front for the month. I said, you know what? That might be a beneficial situation because if you get your money up front, you could just pay all your bills right out the gate and then budget for the week. Like, I'd rather that than have bi-weekly pay. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. And I also ordered my cap and gown. I think I said this already, but I'm just super excited. I really want to buy a class ring because I did not buy a class ring for undergrad and I need some type of like memory of this happening. So that's eating my pockets up and I've been saving, and we could talk more about like saving to move once I move, right? Because I haven't moved yet, so it's kind of weird for me to talk about moving and saving. I'm in the process of doing that. So when I actually get to the point where I'll move and spend money, at least you'll know that I've been doing it, saving since whatever this video is going to be posted. On another note, I found an apartment locator. He couldn't really help me at this point because I'm not ready to move because I don't have a job. I mean, I don't have a job yet. I don't have a job out there, so I'm not really ready to move yet. And he told me to reach out to him in the next 45 to 60 days and then we'll start talking. So we'll see. We'll see. I feel like the issue that I'm having with Houston is the fact that there aren't jobs that are geared towards people in advocacy and social justice. And it doesn't seem to be as human-centric as I thought. Like New York, compared to New York, you search up advocacy on Indeed, 1,000 jobs are popping up. 1,000 jobs are popping up. Literally. You search advocacy on Indeed for Texas, you probably have about 10 jobs that's paying 50, 30,000. You only need your high school diploma, like, or a GED. And no offense to people with GEDs and high school diplomas, but here's my thing. If I worked my ass off to go to college and to get my master's program from NYU, I'm not settling for anything. Like, my school, I invested in my school for a reason, so I'm not settling for nothing. And that's just the way it is. So I've been applying to policy jobs there. Yeah, there's not much stuff that's like, Houston is big on energy, engineering, architecture, and like oil companies. And me, that does not fulfill me. And so I don't want to be one of those people who wakes up and goes to their job just because I'm getting a check. Like, I need some type of fulfillment in order to go with my day-to-day, which is why I'm also applying to hybrid positions and in-person positions. I've done the remote thing, like in my current job, which is hybrid, and we only meet once a week, twice a week sometimes. But during the times when we're not meeting and I don't have like a major deadline, I'm not doing my work. And that's sips coffee. And that's the real tea. I'm coming from a situation where I'm not gonna know anybody out there besides 2 or 3 people. That's all I really need, but I wanna meet new people. I wanna build a new network of people. I'm coming out there by myself. I don't have any family out there. And so the tea is that I need to be in a position where I'm meeting people from that state, from that city, and getting to know them. And I'm sure that they will help me along in the process. Another thing from that trip that I went on, I found out that a lot of people are moving from Chicago in the Midwest area to out there. I didn't meet a lot of New Yorkers, which I wasn't like looking for. But when I was like going to lounges and, you know, vibing, I did meet some people from Chicago. So that's interesting. It's a lot to think about, and I could do a whole video on it, but I'm guessing my camera's not charged, so let's find a charger so I can record the rest of this vlog for the week. Yes, I'm trying to be a better vlogger, so we're at Lemongrass. Ooh. Why? It don't matter, Joey. Let me stop. So we're at Lemongrass, and we're getting lunch right now. Is my hands down here, picture? It don't matter. What the fuck? Who's gonna stop me? From what they gonna say? Yeah, it is what it is. So wait, you still got the 13? What? You still got the 13 phone, right? Is that phone?
No. This is a whole new. This is the 15 or 14, whatever the fuck it is. Camera.
What's the problem?
Smile. You want candy?
What was like? Oh no, that's when you went to self checkout. They was like, smile.
Oh really?
We're recording. No, not Walmart, Target.
I would go through people, so they don't think I'm stealing.
Oh, I go through checkout, self checkout, so I can see. 237, y'all. Thank you. And can we have soy sauce? Alright, thank you.
You okay with that? Ooh, excuse me. You've been here too many times.
Yeah, a few times. So, this is a Wednesday lunch break, and we still.
Just Wednesday.
Joey got the, what did you get?
Chicken pad thai.
And I got the chicken, fried
and
rice,
shrimp.
and shrimp, and a pineapple. And we got a drink, and I gotta go back to the kids. I gotta go back to the kids, but you know what? They drink too, so they not really kids. The kids I work with is 18 years old, so. My new parking next to school is like the best thing that can happen to you, honestly. I am so elated. I think this is great. And look, and another Acura is parking right next to me. Awesome, love that for me. He's ODing. I'm just being nosy, y'all. So I just made it to I just made it to like where my school is. Got off work. I didn't finish the conversation about Houston, but trust me, there's going to be more talks about that in the upcoming months. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I don't know, y'all. Like, I'm just so happy to be finally graduating from school. It feels like I've been in school, no joke, for like forever. I've been working my ass off, and I just want to feel the benefits of that. And like kind of going back to the conversation we was having earlier, I'm not settling when it comes to salary. I'm refused to get a pay cut. Like, one of my friends, she was in the school system in New York City as a teacher, and she was making 72 or 74, whatever, and now she's making it in the 60s. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I literally refuse. Like, there's no way I could do that. We're gonna finish off today pretty much because I don't really have nothing else to show you all. I wish I could take you in class, but there's other students in class and I don't need them in my business. But I'm not staying at the library tonight, and I just want to go straight home
and just go home. I have food from work, and I should be posting a video soon. I should be posting my Houston vlog. Like, that's what I should really be doing, because I went to Houston last month, and it's a month, like, I'm backed up. Literally backed up on content. So that's what I need to be working on tonight, honestly. And I think that's what I'll be working on. So hey, when I get in my car and it's just like making so much noise, but y'all, let me tell you, the craziest thing happened in class. I didn't even get to not record it because I wouldn't record it, but I didn't even get to tell you all. Like, after class, I just ended up going to get a drink with a classmate, and then I went home and I went to sleep. But oh my gosh, it's giving ghetto. So what ended up happening was so I'm in class, minding my business. Occasionally people like would say a joke or two in class or whatever, and my professor is just one of those professors who kinda isn't somebody who reads the room, and he has tenure. And when I say he has tenure, that means basically he can't get fired. That's how I understand it. I mean, if you understand it a different way, then you understand it a different way, but that's the story, and that's what I'm sticking with. You have inappropriate jokes, and he'll use inappropriate language. So sometimes he may say like the word F-U-C-K in class or shit, and like, or he'll just like talk about his family, and he'll have like basically like self-deprecating jokes. And I've seen it before. I've seen it before when I was in Syracuse. Like, I had a professor who would just talk about himself being a black Jewish person, and he even made us one time like write about, and we had to decide which was worse, like the Holocaust or slavery. And y'all know what I said was worse. 400 years? 400 years? Of course, y'all know what I said. But that's not here nor there. In class yesterday, I don't know what happened. Like, the class was laughing. I guess we was talking about the time check, because we're short on time every day in class. And somebody said something about time check. I'm thinking it was the guy, the student. I think he said something about time check. And then the professor said, I can't quote the professor because I honestly did not hear the professor. But according to another student from the class, when we had our little gossip talk afterwards, the professor said, your mom needs a time check. And so the guy's like, well, don't talk about my mom. And then everyone's like, he. And then he's like, I'm serious. Don't talk about my mom. If this wasn't a professional, I'm trying to imitate his voice. If this wasn't a professional setting, I would whoop your ass. And he said he would whoop the professor ass, no joke, like 3 times, and punched his fists together. And the professor's like, oh my gosh, literally like this. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're gonna make me cry. No, I didn't mean. No, let's talk after class. Let's talk after class. And the guy's like, no, you talk about my mom. You talk about my mom. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so like, this always happens to me. I'm not culturally competent. It was like, he was definitely given victim. And I was like, how do you become a victim? And then a guy ends up walking out of the class. And I'm just like, the professor's in class, like, I don't even know how I'm going to continue. But I gotta keep going. And then so we talked for like the last 5 minutes, and he's just like, oh, I lost my thought. Because some girl in the class was like bawling, like tears running down her cheeks. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, and why are you crying? You're sitting there crying over a mama joke that wasn't even for you, and that wasn't even like intentionally meant to harm anyone. The your mama joke, it was nonsensical. Like, it didn't make any sense. You shouldn't have said that as a professional, as a professor. You know, we keep your self-deprecating jokes, but don't come for the students. I'll say that. But the response to it was inappropriate too. Like, this is supposed to be a safe space for us to learn. So it's so much issues with this. So like, I honestly, my opinion is that I don't have one. I'm still processing the entire thing. Hey y'all, it's Thursday. I did not go to the gym this morning. I will be going to the gym later today. I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. I would have stayed in Starbucks, but today was just one of those days I was like, I don't even want to stay. I was supposed to go to my school actually because they're selling grad shirts for $20, but I'm not going either. I don't feel like going. I don't feel like driving an hour to get a $20 shirt. I really don't. However, I am asking a friend if they could buy it for me, and I send them the money. Outside of all that jazz, class was actually interesting yesterday. We were talking about ChatGPT, and I never heard about it until like this year in this class. Like, there's conversations about artificial intelligence, yeah, but sometimes I really don't be knowing like what's real and what's not, because it's so much like fake information that when I see anything about artificial intelligence, I'm just like, oh, this is BS. This is BS. But it probably isn't BS. Well, I'm finding out that it's not. And we were talking about ChatGPT because I think UCLA and Yale both are like banning ChatGPT for their students, and NYU is contemplating that now. However, I don't think NYU is going to ban it just based off of like what the conversation like the professor was having with us, because I think it is very important for us to have it. I don't know, like from an equity standpoint, I think that it'll be beneficial, especially for Black and brown children in public education. Like, I don't know about y'all and what like what type of education y'all all received, because I don't know necessarily who my audience is right now. But I could tell you one thing. I went to public school all my life. The only time I didn't go to public school was once I got to college and graduate school. And when I got to college, a lot of the students were like way beyond me academically. So like their comprehension levels was higher, I'm assuming. And a lot of them took AP courses before coming into school. My school didn't offer AP courses. Well, they offered AP courses, but you had to apply to get in. And it's only for like one class. It wasn't like several AP classes. They only offered 3. It was micro, AP something else, and I honestly don't remember. But I think I was in AP Living Environment and AP something with math. That I absolutely did not like because I didn't like the teacher. I used to love math. When I was in middle school, I took, the New York State high school regents, and I passed all of them. I was the only Black girl in my school to do that. So that was cool. But by the time I got to high school, like, your education is really in the hands of your teachers, and you can't identify with like certain curriculums if you can't, like, if you don't like school and you don't like the teacher, or you don't understand the way in which the teacher teaches. Like, you don't have understanding from the teacher. But that's another point. And so I say this to say that I feel like ChatGPT can help a lot of young people who are in school and who needs help with comprehension. Not to mention, I feel like those who have like dyslexia or some type of disability, like learning disability, this will be extremely beneficial for them. But it raises an issue of equity, as well as like there's pros to the equity standpoint. There's going to be some cons. Now, we were discussing how like we all have access to, and forgive me if I'm messing this up because honestly, still learning. So we all have access to, I think, the free chat GPT. And so my professor's like, yeah, wait till you get to chat GPT 4.5. And I think that's the one you have to pay for, or like Google has one where unless you have a Google Pixel, you're going to be waitlisted for it. And I don't know if you're ever like, if you'll just get access eventually, but I don't know how that one works, right? And so imagine once everyone has access to ChatGPT, there's going to be limitations. You're going to have to pay for the exclusive version that could write out an entire cover letter for you. Imagine people having better cover letters. I look at, like, and no offense to the people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at people from where I come from, right? I've seen some of their cover letters and resumes, and I'm just like, how do you expect to get a higher paying job with this type of resume? Like, in all honesty, like, and I feel like it's a disadvantage because it's a learning issue and it's an equity issue. And I feel like this platform and this artificial intelligence would benefit so many people, and especially people from marginalized and underserved communities, if they are using it the right way. And I know there's going to be tons of cons and tons of people against it. But when you think about how, like, they're trying to reverse affirmative action in some schools, in some states, I think this will ultimately still level the playing field in some type of way. It's not going to fully do it because the society is built on capitalism and racism. So it's not going to fully do it, but I feel like there's so many benefits to it. And I know there are cons as well. Like, do not get me twisted. I don't know all the cons yet. You know, I'm just figuring it out. But from a person who works with, you know, people and who does public service work, I can see how this platform could be beneficial to the young people that I work with. So I'm right by Starbucks. It was only like a 7-minute drive, as y'all can see. Starbucks is right there. This is the Starbucks I hang out in. Yeah, so I'm right by Starbucks. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to get my mama coffee. Then I'm going to go back home. I wanted to do my work home today because my room is so junky. I would never show y'all that. It is so junky. And I feel like it's literally a reflection of how I've been feeling. Like, I've been feeling all over the place. So my room looks like it's all over the place. Like, yeah, everything has just been like kind of me just trying to figure it out. And I really want to clean up my room and like kind of do an inventory of what I have and what I don't need, because honestly, before moving to Houston, I want to make sure that everything that I don't need I'm not bringing it with me. If I haven't worn it in 2 years, I do not need it. Or if I have a tendency to pick up another item instead of that item, I don't need it. Now, I'm just trying to be conscious of what I wear and what I don't wear. So next time I'm going to sell it, instead of just like throwing it away. I don't typically throw away my stuff, but I'll just put it in a clothing bin and let people take from it. But I think I kind of want to profit off of the stuff I do have now, unless it's just like shirts from Pretty Little Thing. Like, that could go away to somebody without a care. But a lot of the stuff that I have now, as far as like clothes, are good material, are good items, but I just do not wear it. All right, y'all, I got my drinks. I got my mama drink. They gave me a venti because, you know what? People love me. And I got charged for a grande. So it's great. How do y'all feel? I feel like this is a chatty vlog. I didn't want it to be a chatty vlog, but this one is a chatty vlog. How do y'all feel about like advocating for yourself without apologizing? So I had a little incident in there, but like the people love me in there, except for this one girl who don't know me, I guess. I don't know what happened, but anyways, it was only a line of 2, and I was included on that line, but somebody was in front of me, and the person who I'm cool with, who makes my drinks, I'm a tourist, y'all. If I like the way you make a drink, girl, I'm gonna request for you to make the drink all the time. Like, I'm not playing. Anyways, but the girl in there, I'm guessing she works there, and so she comes on the line. But mind you, the guy was talking to me, so I moved over to him so I'm not screaming in the Starbucks. And so she comes in front of me because I guess she doesn't know that I was there. So I told her, I'm like, hey, I was standing there, and the person at the register, which got me upset because he clearly seen me there. And so when I came back and I was behind her, he should have been like, oh no, she was already here. But I guess because he knew her and she works there, he was like trying to let it slide. But no, I said something. I'm like, hey, I was already here. Because it's not like I was exploring the store like, oh, what cups. No, I'm literally telling the guy who's making my drink how I want my drink. So what the fuck? So anyway, she's like, he's like, okay, I'll take you. Like as if I'm just like asking to be taken. No, I'm telling y'all I'm going to be taken. She's just like, you could take her. I'm like, okay. And then she stands by the register. Like, I was like, excuse me. Like, how you want him to take me, but you're not gonna move? And so, like, you could tell she had an attitude about it. And then, and you work here, so you should be like, I don't know, like, it's just like it should be like, oh, you know, it didn't even have to apologize. It could have just been, oh, I didn't know you was right here. Let me move out the way. Versus, like, the whole shebang of it. The guy, it wasn't even her fault. The guy should have said something who was at the register. But I feel like because it was an employee, he tried to just do something. But mind you, she ended up going to the back. Didn't even stay at the register for afterwards to, like, order her drink. She just went to the back. So I feel like she got irritated. And I think what made it, like, I feel like why she walked away and, like, you know, was playing nice was because everybody, literally there was like 5 employees there, and they're just like saying hi and stuff like that, and I'm just like, hey, hi everybody. And then you could see, like, I'm a nice person, but literally I'm just saying, excuse me, I was already here. I don't know, I don't like to, like, overthink stuff like that, because I feel like it could really, like, shape your day and change it. I guess the message for Thursday ultimately is be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through, and you should really watch your mouth and watch your actions, because you might be dealing with the wrong one on the wrong day. She lucky I didn't give her the chat GPT class conflict that I seen. She lucky I didn't give her that. But all in all, be kind to people. It's really no need to, like, have attitudes and be mean and be rude for no reason. I'm back, y'all, and I am officially settled in, so I will be working on some things. Right now I am working on my cover letter. So let's not talk about it. A couple things, right? So when writing your cover letter, you want to make sure that, one, your format and your, like, times and your, like, font is basically all the same, outside of your name that you might want to emphasize in your header, or enlarge in your header. That might be different, but for the most part it should all be the same. Now, we could do a video about cover letters and the tips and tricks I've learned about cover letters, but I feel like it will honestly be best when I get the job, because then it's like I'm informing you of how I relocated to this new state with this cover letter, you know, with the cover letter that I am crafting now. But if you're just already in, like, let's say, like, New York, and you want to get hired for a nonprofit, holla at me, because I could easily get you there. But now I'm really trying to get into the state and see what the state jobs have to offer me. I'm looking for security, and when you're working in nonprofits, honestly, you're doing 20 things at once, and you have 20 different roles, you're wearing several different hats, and it's kind of a bummer because you learn a lot, but you're not getting paid for what you know. And so at this point in my job search, even though I've been applying to jobs for a month, I am going to put my ego aside. And I'm not going to be like, you know what, I need 100K. Because that was the mindset I was on. Not 100K, but like 85. And I'm just like, sis, if I move out there, there's going to be less state taxes. And they're not going to be taking out so much from my check. And so, like, in a month alone, I get $1,400 taken out of my check. Technically $700 and something for each paycheck. But altogether, it's about $1,400. They're not doing that in Texas. So it's like my 72 that I'm making now could be the equivalent of a 60,000 that they're making out there, right? And so I'm not going to, you know, be like so gun-ho on getting the highest amount paid salary. What I need to do is get my foot in the door. Once my foot is in the door, with the education and background that I have, I know I could take off. And I could easily negotiate my salary, because that's what I did at this job. Okay? All right, y'all. So let's get to it.